Welcome to this WHS 11 weather impact story. This week, we're breaking down something that we have seen a common occurrence of, and that is flooding. Of course, we got to break down what exactly that means, though. Is climate change driving the flooding events we've seen this year, especially into Midland, Texas, and also in places like here in Kentucky, where we saw flooding in the spring and also flooding just last week. So to break it down for you, we have seen weather-related deaths as far as heat, which is typically during the summer months, but also flash flood season is also during the summer months. So that is actually the second at least highest weather-related cause of death across weather-related in the U.S. for floods, and drought coming in at third. But when we talk about heat and flood, we typically see those during the summer months, that is. So when we talk about current and future flood loss, the state of Kentucky has seen quite a bit of loss as far as money when it comes to a lot of those floods we've seen. So we're talking $761 million due to damages in homes, infrastructure, and also roads that we have seen across the entire state of Kentucky when it comes to floods, not only this year, but past several years. So we're probably wondering, what does the flooding lead to? And is climate change a factor in that? So we could break this down in three pillars of what is driving climate change and flooding. That includes more intense rainfall. So when we see the summer months where it gets hotter and hotter, that fuels a lot of those storms, and more humidity cause more intense rainfall and more severe flooding as well when it comes to those rainfall and flooding situations. Also, secondly, drier soils and droughts. You may not think of at least this opposite of, okay, floods versus droughts, but when we talk about it, when you have drier soil, that's an easy way for those floods to begin quickly, because that soil is so dry and it's not evaporating as much. But also, lastly, less snow and earlier melt. So when we talk about snow, well, as our climate continues to warm, we'll start to see more rain than snow, which can cause more flooding longer into the year. Also, some of those areas, at least out west where they have mountain tops, well, that's where you have an earlier melt, which could lead into avalanches and also more flooding, at least at the base of a lot of those mountain ranges. So these are three pillars that we are studying when it comes to more flooding events, especially inland, due to climate change. Right back here at home, though, we have seen quite a bit of rainfall, especially over the last several weeks. We've seen rainfall about 7 days in a row, actually, from at least the 12th all the way back into the 19th. And especially one day, we want to point out for you the 17th, where we saw 1.6 inches. That actually broke the daily record rainfall for July 17th. So quite a bit of rain this past week, and we're finally getting a break of it as we go towards the next couple of days. Now, we'll give you a July rain check. So far, we've already seen 5 inches of rainfall this month, but today the average typically around 2.6 inches. So we're actually about 2.7 inches above the average for this time of year for your July. Now, we break this down as far as the state goes: Louisville, Frankfort, Lexington, and Bowling Green. We'll start off for your Louisville. We're at 36 inches of rainfall so far. That's about 8 inches above average, but some areas seeing more above average rainfall amounts. That is Lexington, Bowling Green. We're talking 42 inches of rainfall so far, and that's about 12 to 14 inches above that rate. So a lot of rain overall this past year, and especially we're continuing to pray for those ones into the Texas area, central Texas, who have dealt with devastating rainfall. And also just here last week, you saw rainfall and also the river flooding back into the spring. So we'll continue to track these events out for you, and how can we relate the climate change due to flooding and what that means for the future for many, many years to come. I'm meteorologist Matt Willoughby. Thanks for watching.